everybody. As I promised a long time ago, I'm going to show you where I live. And I'm really not used to walking and filming. I usually film from a tripod, so I hope it's not too shaky. I do have it up on a monopod to reduce shake, and I hope I don't get too winded or too much wind, although it seems calm today. Yesterday was pretty windy, so I didn't film. So this is my quaint little village. This is really, well, I'll show you. This is truly how big it is. It's just two little streets, and yeah, a lot of the houses are old. My house was built 1896. And I never knew this little village existed, despite growing up in this geographical area of Quebec, the Eastern Townships. And when I came to see the house, I was floored, because I am a couple hundred meters away from this marsh. Which I'll go, actually there's quite a few people today. Wow, it's busy. Which is really weird for a Thursday. So I'll show you. There's this wee little park. In the distance, well, I'll show you when we get closer, there's a old school two-room schoolhouse, which obviously is just used, they put a ice rink outside. So I'll show you a little bit of where I live, and then I'll go to the island in the marsh and I'll do a bit of a vlog and catch you all up with why I haven't posted in over 2 months. So yeah. There's an old industrial building which used to belong to Bombardier, which is a company, a Quebec company that makes snow machines, as it's called outside, or skidoos as we call them here. And they used to manufacture the rubber bits. So this is only a small portion of it, but it's about half of the open water. We'll see on the island, which is off in the distance there, that there's about this much open water on the other side, and then it goes into like channels through reeds. So that there is a little dam, which I guess used to be for hydro, although maybe it still is, because I just see hydro wires. I'm not sure where they come from. I don't think we're producing energy anymore, but it's kind of cool because, you know, I'm a couple hundred meters from this and I don't have to worry about flooding. And I guess I'll do cuts, because you know, it takes me like 5-10 minutes to walk through all the bush. So when I get to somewhere interesting, I'll open it up again. Or, well, I'll just let it go and edit out the boring bits. So they've been doing some maintenance. We live in the bottom of a valley. Oh, they made a little bridge. Oh, they made 2 little bridges. Oh, how cute. Because yeah, we're in the bottom of the valley, so all the water comes down to here. I actually have a little spring in my backyard. So they dug this ditch last fall, and it made it like impossible. Well, my boyfriend just jumps over it, but it was difficult for me to, you know, get over them. So they finally put little bridges, and like that's new, like they did that today. So despite it being like a tiny community of, should watch the camera, tiny community of, I don't know, about 130 people, they actually do a lot of maintenance and take care of things, which is super nice. So, and the cool thing is like this little trail, like we can go all the way around, even up on that mountainous part there. And well, I guess I'll come out at night someday. There's a cross up there that lights up at night, and apparently that was a thing to do with Bombardier. Every property he built, or whatever town that, I mean, he originated from Valcourt, which is not far from here, but every place he bought property, he built a cross. So when you drive around the Eastern Townships, there's all these usually wooden crosses. That one's a big metal one. And apparently my house belonged to somebody in his family. So it's kind of cool. So yeah, there's the little ice rink. And that's the little, hope the sun's not flaring too bad, that's the little 2-room schoolhouse. So 1 room downstairs and 1 room upstairs. The rink. And then, yeah, this little grassy beachy part. And in the winter they'll do like 4 or 5 rinks on the ice, and they have like hockey tournaments. It's kind of cool. So that's about the extent. When we see those trees there, there's like a point, and that's where the open water kind of stops, and then like the marshy marsh begins. So I think all in all it's about 2 or 3 kilometers long. So Rivière des Saumons and a brook feed into it, and then the Rivière des Saumons comes out of it, which is Salmon River. Don't know why, no salmon. Or maybe, well, I don't know. Because Rivière des Saumons goes into St. Francis River, or Rivière Saint-François, and that goes down into the St. Lawrence. I don't know if salmon come up the St. Lawrence. I mean, technically they could. And when they come up this tiny little river, I don't know. So this is kind of like the thick, brushy part. We've gotten so much rain. All these plants are taller than I am. Some of these plants are as tall as my boyfriend, who's 6 foot. So, and it's really cool. There's all kinds of yummy things along the trail all year. So like fiddleheads, and then strawberries, and raspberries, and blackberries, and toke cherries. Oops. And apples. Believe it or not, there's like a gala apple tree around the corner, which I am totally gonna have my boyfriend. It's this tree there. Boop boop. I'm gonna totally have him drag the aluminum ladder out here. I guess I'll show you this little point. And we'll pick the apples, because it's full this year. Discovered it 2 years ago once the apples all fell. And it's a biannual tree. So it's really cool. So it's just this little quiet little bay. And a lot of local kids like to hang out on this rock. And this is the end of the island, which we'll go on to in a minute. And yeah, so there's lots of critters that call this marsh home, and lots of plants too. Like, I do a lot of wilderness camping. Hee hee, dragonfly. I do a lot of wilderness camping up north, where it's a bit more wild or sauvage. And there's a lot of things here that, wow, it's really good. You can barely tell that the path is here. So there's all kinds of little crab apples. I don't know if you can see up in here, there's scala apples. So yeah, I don't know, there's lots of flora and fauna here that I only see up north. So it's like really diverse and healthy here. Like some endangered species of plants. Otters. I have otters visit 200 meters from my front door. How awesome is that? So there's a house back up in there. And yeah. Also a lot of wild mushrooms, so like chanterelles and bullets. It's kind of bullet season now. So we picked those too. I noticed this summer hazelnut trees, but only small ones. I haven't found like the parent tree. There's got to be a parent tree, right? A big tree that they all came from. But if not, in I don't know, a decade, those will be bigger trees, and there'll be tons, because I saw all kinds of saplings. I am getting a bit winded. I may be walking faster than I should be. I'll show you here. Now up in there, I guess it's the back of someone's property. There's a house back up in there. And that's where I get my shot trails. Now I don't know. Now either it comes to a fork. Either we can go straight to the island and I can do my vlog. Or I can show you to the end of the trail. Well, to the fallen bridge. Which is maybe another 500 meters. So we're about like halfway. I guess we'll go there. Well, I don't want to film all the way there and all the way back. See? I don't know. You see them? Those are little tiny bullets, but not the tasty ones. Those ones taste bitter. We'll just do the island. Save the other one for another day. I spot. Oh, there's people. Darn. Yeah, it's really busy today. It's not even past supper yet. No. Okay, I had spotted a woodpecker, but I can't find them now. Well, I hope they don't come to the island. That would suck. So, there's this little inlet here, and I have a really gorgeous picture from this view in my Etsy shop. And yeah, I have seen otters in here. I have seen like giant turtles sitting on that rock. Lots and lots of frogs. Right now it seems my favorite little leopard frogs are all emerging. So it's an almost island. It's like a land bridge with like a culvert to let water pass. And in the spring this will be covered in water. So for a couple weeks we can't access the island. I think this is pickerel weed. It makes pretty purple flowers. Blending in so you can see the better there. Pretty purple flowers. 2 weeks ago there was a lovely white pond lily. It's already gone. I don't know if someone picked it. So this is the island. And this is where I bring my dog. She's a Shepsky, so I feel okay letting her off the leash here. She can run around. So I'll go to the spot where we play fetch. And my dog's probably sad right now. They went for a walk without her. But I didn't think I could juggle dog and camera. And my boyfriend's incredibly camera shy. Oh, that's a big mushroom. It had been dry and hot, and we got like a massive rainstorm 2 days ago, and like all the mushrooms are coming up now. So yeah, now I have to kind of do a daily walk. I was doing it maybe 2 or 3 times a week in the summer, and my doctor suggested minimum 5 days a week, minimum 30 minutes. Even better if I did 2 30-minute walks. Not there yet. I've heeded her directions. I skipped 1 day so far. And today will be a short day because I'm not going to do the whole thing. But yeah. And there's like blueberry bushes here. All kinds of ferns. In the spring there's orchids. Wild orchids. They're called lady slipper, which that's kind of an endangered plant. Lots of trilliums. Oh, that's the cute little bullet. Let's see if I can get, oh, there's 2. Oh, there's 3. It's a tiny little bullet. And then there's another one there. And another one beyond it, and they weren't there yesterday. So they're coming up full force. So yeah, there's a little rock. And pile of sticks for the dog. And we just play fetch with her here. So, let's see, I can zoom in a bit. Gotta love autofocus. So that's the bridge that mostly fell down. There's been a dispute between, there's a hiking trail that borrows part of our trail, kind of intersects it, and supposedly the agreement for that was if they, oh, there's a bunch of geese. If they use the trail, they have to maintain the bridge. There's a bunch of Canadian geese. In the springtime, when all the birds are migrating, hang on, I'm gonna open up the tripod. There's something to rest on. Woohoo! There we go. Be more steady. And so yeah, they said you can use the trail, you have to maintain the bridge. The bridge fell 2.5 years ago. And they're saying, oh, well, it's the municipality that's supposed to do it, and so they're fighting over that. So that's like the one thing that's not maintained. The sad part is, now that not as many people are going the whole loop, the part of the trail that's like here is like so grown in, and there's like 2 down trees. So all the rest of the trail, like the mountain part, so like from here on back towards the dam, that's fine. But the on this point, so like on the other side of this, there's more marsh, so it's like a kind of point of land. No, that's all grown in, but that's where I noticed the nuts, the hazelnuts, and my friends noticed chaga, which I've been curious about that. It's like some fungus that grows on hardwood trees. So yeah, I guess I'll find a place to set the camera down on a rock, and I'll vlog. Because I figured you guys want to see me, although I don't know. I find this is a whole lot more beautiful than staring at my face. I love it. So yeah, my partner and I come out here frequently, and it just soothes the soul. Now, I hope, sit further back. I hope you can hear me, one, and I hope I'm in frame, but I think I should be. And I think I recall this camera, which I stole my boyfriend's camera, does pretty good on the sound. Alright, so health vlog. If you want to skip, skip. I'm going to explain a bit about myself, a bit about the troubles I've had, and why I haven't posted in like 2 months. Back in 2010, I hurt my wrist working, and it took about 2.5 years to diagnose as a TFCC tear. I can't say the terms. It's triangular fibro something. TFCC. If you Google that, you'll find it. So it's like a little tendon torn in my wrist, which caused excruciating amounts of pain, and loss of dexterity, loss of strength, that kind of stuff. So I had to stop my career as a professional cook. Not only that, but the company I worked for refused to acknowledge that this came from working, and sent me to a doctor, and the doctor said it was all in my head. I went to see 3 different specialists before one of them figured it out. So all that was stressful. I was on my insurance for a bit. I got terminated because I refused to go into work, which, let's face it, if I can't hold on to a frying pan safely or chop safely, I'm a danger to myself and my coworkers. So I said no. I'll try one day to humor you, and then it was way too dangerous, so I said no, and then they fired me, which is kind of illegal. Because I had a case open with CSST, which is the equivalent of workers' comp everywhere else, I think. So, huge legal battle. I went to court 4 or 5 times. I won the initial one where they had to acknowledge that yes, I have a TFCC tear. I settled with Marriott on the advice of my lawyer, and that was probably a bad thing. And then after, so 2.5 years fighting for that, and then after that another 2.5 years fighting, because at one point CSSD just said, you know what, you can work. And so 2.5 years trying to fight that, and I kept losing, and at one point I was just so financially drained and exhausted and stressed out that I just said, okay, I'm not fighting anymore. I'll try to make it work, knowing full well I would wind up really, really ill. And boy, was I not kidding. So the year after that, we had really, so this is 2015 now, really hard time financially. My boyfriend only works by contract, so when he has a dry spell, he has a dry spell. I wasn't bringing in any income, and I was getting $100 a week from CSSD. And my stress went through the roof, and my health tanked. And at that time, I thought it was complications due to my injury, like I'm pushing myself too far, I'm wearing myself out. You know, it has to do with that. My body is always trying to constantly heal something that's broken, so I'm worn out, tired, and chronically in pain because of that. Also, I think in 2013 I had gotten really bad food poisoning, and after that I had like IBS issues, which I thought had to do with that. So in 2015 I went to see my specialist and begged for some sort of pain management, and she put me on Tramacet. Just tramadol and acetaminophen, which is Tylenol mixed together, and it helped. I very quickly, like within a week or two, became dependent on it, and what that means is it's, I guess for lack of better words, like a physical addiction. Like, I'm not mentally addicted to it, but my body, like if I don't take my dose in the morning, I'm nauseous. I just feel like death warmed over. Severe nausea, and if I push even further, I'd get shakes and tremors and like not good. So I was on that for about 1.5 years, up until October last year, and all this time I've been trying to see a surgeon, which in Canada it's lovely, we have free health care, but getting the help that you need is freaking impossible. So I've been trying to get a surgeon for 2.5 years? Yeah, about 2.5 years. In 2013 I also bought my house, and that was very stressful, and I wound up really sick then too. So there's a trend here. Whenever I get really stressed out, I'd get really, really ill, and the symptoms would be all over the map, like all over the place. I also noticed in 2015, 2016, larger and larger difficulties concentrating. I eventually went off my tramadol because surgeon, I've been having doctors pressuring me to do cortisone injections, and it wasn't something that I wanted to do because I had heard many bad things, and it's like a band-aid solution, and I wanted to get it fixed. And then yeah, one surgeon I saw, he was kind of a bit of a douche canoe, and he says, well, the only way I am sure surgery will help is if we give you a cortisone injection and it helps. If that helps, surgery will help. And I'm like, alright, you know what, fine, I'll just try it. And he bullied me into it, and he did it there, and I had driven over 100 kilometers to get to my appointment, and I'm like, can I drive home? Is that going to be cool? So yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Sorry, I F-bombed. But he was really, really mean. I wound up having to wait 2 hours in the parking lot of the hospital while, I don't know, like, it hurt excruciating, and I couldn't move my hand. Thankfully it was my left hand, and I was driving automatic, so I didn't have to shift, but like, I had to wait 2 hours before I felt well enough to kind of drive one-handed. So after the cortisone injection is when I decided I'm going to get myself off of the tramadol, because I just felt like I was getting severe back pain. I was noticing, I have a stepdaughter, and she would like run and jump hug me when we'd go get her every 2 weeks, and that would hurt. And I'm like, well, this isn't just my hand. Like, I'd wake up in the morning and ache head to toe. So I'm starting to realize that something's not right, but I'm not cluing in. So I went, and I thought, again, this was attributed to side effects of the tramadol, including the severe back pain, because I would notice it after it would wear off. So I thought it was like my body giving like dependency kind of issues, like the nausea. So I weaned myself off of that with the help of a wonderful plant called kratom, because the doctor that I saw that gave me the injection, I was like, I want to wean off my tramadol, can you give me, well, hey, go this way a bit, I don't have this face, can you give me, explain to me how to wean myself off safely? He's like, oh, just talk to your specialist, which takes me like 8 months to get an appointment with her. Public health care for you. So I looked online and found out about kratom helping with opiate addiction. So I gave that a try, and I weaned off in a week, and then another week to get off the kratom. So 2 weeks, kicked the opioids, and I was really happy about it. But then after that, my health has just been tanking and tanking and tanking and tanking. In December, my partner's hours had been cut. My hours as a security guard had been cut, so I was working only 8 hours a week. And my boyfriend wasn't working, so I felt the need to get a second job. So I got a job that was supposed to be advertised for 15 hours with my 8-hour job. It's part-time hours, I should be able to handle it, because I've not been able to work full-time since my injury. And we just manage and make ends meet how we make ends meet. And then yeah, I got a second job, and I got ill very quickly. And then I noticed things like soaking in a tub full of Epsom salt helped. And at this point, I'm kind of realizing that if I got my surgery and it fixed my hand, I kind of realized it's not going to fix all my health problems. So I just kept going and going and going. I noticed if I push my body too hard, I get ill. And then noticing if I get too stressed out, I get ill. So we had a chimney fire this winter, and the stress of that like instantly brought on the pain all over my body, especially in my back. And I don't know, at some point I just kind of came to, I have a couple friends who have fibromyalgia, and I could empathize with them super well, because a lot of what they went through, I went through, but I thought it was attributed to my wrist and my opiates, medication that I was on. But after a while, we got a roommate who had moved in also around December, and she has fibro. And she kept going, Nina, you're a lot like me. You're a lot like me. Like, your symptoms are so much like me. And just left it at that. And I think it was April, after the chimney fire, I started asking questions and asked, how does somebody get fibro? And it was explained to me, well, it's either prolonged, or at least for this person, she goes, it's, from how I understand it, prolonged physical stress or prolonged emotional stress. And like the past 7 years, I have gone through tremendous amounts of both. So that kind of hit like a thunderclap. And I didn't have I did have a family doctor, but he was kind of a douche canoe too when I had hurt my hand, and gave me wrong advice and refused to do paperwork and that kind of thing, and got me in trouble with CSST and my insurance company and employment insurance, public health care. So yeah, I started researching it, and the more I researched it, the more the symptoms just struck home, and then random things that I didn't even think about, like my periods of vertigo that I'd get when I was super stressed, my sensitivities to light, to heat, to cold, to smell, the brain fog, just so many symptoms, like a lot. And then I researched the things that people might get diagnosed with that's similar to fibro, so lupus, chronic fatigue, MS? Is it MS? I researched all those, and none of those fit like fibro did. So seeing that I didn't want to go back to my family doctor, I made motions to change family doctors, and yeah, I finally met her last week. And I just went in, told her my symptoms, and she goes, I think you have fibro. And it's what I've been suspecting since then. So, I'm pretty sure I have fibromyalgia. And paired with my employer putting me full-time hours despite me saying, I can't handle this, it's making me sick. Like, I worked full-time all the month of June, half the month of July, and they had scheduled me full-time for August, and that was my breaking point. My boss gave me my schedule for 3 weeks, and I broke down crying after I got off the phone with her. And I did a few shifts, went to the ER, got a week of leave until I saw my family doctor, and she gave me a month. I don't know if she'll renew it or not. I guess it depends if I've improved, but I've been so crashed that I might have one good day a week where I can feel I can do stuff. And I've been too mentally and physically tired to do art. I've done a couple sittings, but I want to start that again because I told my doctor I do art therapy to manage stress and anxiety, and she seemed happy about that and happy that I did some walks, but told me do more. So yeah, I filmed an unboxing a couple days ago, which I'll post the link, and I'm filming this, so 2 videos this week. I still have to edit and upload both of them, although by the time we get to this, the first one will be done. Anyways, and I want to try to do a weekly art video. Hope. Be kind to me if I don't manage, because like one thing I had to learn to accept was when I don't have the energy, when I just can't, just to let it go, even though I have tons of editing and all kinds of other tasks, house cleaning. I just have to let it go and do self-care and take care of myself. Because, yeah, and because I'm so worn out, I've been having to do that a whole lot. I am planning on starting my own business again, getting back into the photography. I used to be a wedding photographer. It was too stressful. I didn't quite make it as a wedding photographer. I was doing $1,000 weddings, which still isn't rentable, profitable. But I was getting to that point before I really got ill. So I'm leaving that genre. I'm going into contemporary fashion style portraits. I have a mentor called Sue Bryce. She's super popular. You can Google her. Her work is stunning. And I've been doing classes this past winter while I was sick, when I could concentrate enough on the class. So yeah, I'll be doing that, and I'm hoping to start folio building in September. I'm doing a trade show next weekend, which is probably going to kill me, but I signed up. A leaf just fell in front of the camera. For those of you who don't know, in southern Quebec the leaves are already starting to change red, slowly. It's crazy. It's a bit early, so I think we're going to have an early winter. So yeah, that's my health update. I've been getting so many new subscribers. I got 2 today already. Thank you so much. I don't even know what my total is at yet, and I think I've even not responded to the last few comments that date from a few weeks, so I'm going to get onto that. I haven't abandoned the channel, I've just been gravely ill. But I'm stubborn, and I'm trying, and I will get better. Hopefully the doctor can figure out a treatment plan to manage my symptoms, because sadly there is no cure for fibromyalgia yet. But my family doctor believed me right off the bat. And I didn't have to ask her or tell her, look, I think I have this. She pieced it together. So that is phenomenal, because there's still a lot of people that don't believe that this is a real thing. It really is, and it really controls your life. So I'm hoping to get some control back, because a lot of my anxiety comes from how little control I have of my life. So it's kind of like and the anxiety makes my symptoms worse, so I have to try to break that cycle. So getting rid of this employer that's not good for me will be one step. My doctor will be giving me a note to limit my hours, so that'll be helpful. But yeah, so thank you everybody. If there's still battery, maybe I'll jet down to where the bridge is and show you that, because there's a really pretty part of the trail there. And yeah, I hope to see you in my next video, and the next video will be an art video, I promise. So thank you everybody. I love you all dearly. I love all the ladies on Sugar's Candies who have been so understanding and encouraging, and it just warms my heart. I don't think you're some of the I chat with 3 of my friends, and that's it. And you ladies on Sugar's Candies, that's my socialization. It's what I can handle. So you guys mean the world to me. Thank you so much for all your encouragement, and I will get better. I'm determined. I'll figure it out. And yeah, I'll keep making videos. So by if I don't have battery, and if not, I'll show you the next part of the trail, which is super pretty. Wow, okay, my camera's being really a pain in the butt. It records and then stops. So yeah, I've redone this 3 times now. And I'm not gonna go back to the other place. But yeah, okay, I have turtles come lay eggs here. It's all dug up, and on the other side. So really beautiful water inlet on this side. Is that a kingfisher? That's a kingfisher. Hello, Mr. Kingfisher. And the marsh on this side. And yeah, the turtles like to lay their eggs all in the rocks here, all up and down the bank. You'll see there. On the side, they'll lay their eggs, and then an animal will come dig them all up. Well, hopefully not all, but most. So yeah, if you like this kind of video, let me know in the comments. I can show you the other side. There's a kayaker there. Hello, Mr. Kayaker. I can show you the part that I've tried to show you twice and it didn't record. I can bring you to the 2 big beaver dams and beaver lodges. One's a hike through the woods, the other one we have to get to by canoe or kayak. Or I can bring you exploring with the canoe and kayak. And then there's the mountain part, the mountainside, which, hang on, like the other side of the pond. Which there's a trail, but that's a really kind of hefty-defty trail. Kind of winds me. I've been winded on this one. So out of shape. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if you want some more. Next video will be an art video. I'll try my best to keep doing videos. I would like to resume weekly. But maybe I'll get my health under control and that'll be feasible. And I just wanted to thank everybody for your support. And all my new subscribers and all my subscribers to be. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.